Hey, CG6 checking in, and let's take it back to a year. Now, a year ago, yes, we're jumping right into this commentary, but a year ago, Modern Warfare 3 and Battlefield 3 were both being released, and it was just it was all over the internet. All the fans on each side, they just kind of got together and they argued about which game would be the best. And to this day, some of that arguing is still going on. So I kind of wanted to talk about a few things that Battlefield 3 and Modern Warfare 3 had to offer, and then I wanted to talk about the future, which was Battlefield 4 versus Call of Duty Ghosts, because honestly, that's a potential argument that's going to be happening in the community very soon. So let's dive into the past first, and then the new, and just my expectations. And for the following things that I'm about to say about these games, it's not everything that's like new about them, but it's all the stuff that I think is important enough to actually point out to you guys. So let's start off with my pick, because I'm gonna obviously have a bias, or my game, Battlefield 3. Now, Battlefield 3 it offered the new engines, no, okay, it offered a new engine, the PC got 64 players, updated graphics. And for the multiplayer, they attempted to balance the vehicle and infantry warfare. They had, yeah, okay. The campaign was dull. They had a lot of DLC planned and the non-yearly releases. Now the new engine was clearly Frostbite 2, and they brought over a lot, but at the same time, it kind of was like whoa, because the consoles couldn't handle all of that. And because of that, the game was suppressed, and it just didn't offer as much as it could have. And now that we're on the horizon of next gen consoles, Battlefield 4 has a lot of time to really expand and show the full power of Frostbite 2. And then adding to that, there's a new rumor that it's like Frostbite 2.5 on the next Battlefield 4, but I'll talk about that later. And then for more players, for the 64 players on the PC, um, let's see. There's not much to really say. PC just got more players because they had like better graphics cards, more RAM, and better processor than almost a decade old console like the PS3 and the Xbox 360. You have to remember that what the producers of the game were working from, like with DICE, Sledgehammer, and Infinity Ward, they were working with stuff that's 10 years old, and they're just trying to get the best out of it. So I commemorate them for doing what they did to release those games. I'm gonna stop saying as of now. So when they attempted to balance vehicle and infantry warfare, that's very hard to do, because that's a lot of stuff to balance, because you have to balance guns, tanks, boats, jeeps, Humvees, and all the stuff that was put into the multiplayer games. And once, I mean, the game isn't balanced right now, but as the final patch wasn't as major as we all would have thought it would have been for because the way that DICE patched their games was with every new DLC release. So that being said, it kind of showed them like X amount of time to fix an issue and to just keep on moving on. And yeah, I guess that's about it. They had the DLC was, you could either buy premium. Premium was good. I'm not going to talk much about it. It's just you could buy it if you were a true fan, not a true fan of the game, but if you really enjoyed it. And then they didn't have the non-yearly releases. And when I say that, I'll point that out later in the commentary. Now on Modern Warfare 3, the campaign was good. It had the same engine. The the multiplayer had a lot of exploits. They had kill streaks, and some people rather take kill streaks over vehicles, which I guess it's alright. It's just a preference. And honestly, there wasn't as much care for the game. Now, if you remember, or like if you just know the Call of Duty franchise in general, they just try to get a game out for a year, and then they attempt to patch it and fix their problems because they want to act like they care about the actual community and their game, when in reality both of these companies just care about the money. For example, Battlefield 3, they released all the DLCs and all that stuff, but it seemed like an even better deal to buy premium, which is like buying a whole new game, because it was $60. And I think this time Battlefield was trying to compete with Modern Warfare 3, but with that, okay. I just forgot what I was saying, but at the end of the day, it's just these companies are really just trying to take our money by showing them that they actually do kind of care about the game. But if they did, it wouldn't have felt so rushed like Medal of Honor Warfighter, and the game wouldn't have ended up the way it did. But as in exploits, I mean, there was Dead Man's Hand. Let's see, there were Dead Man's Hand, shitty spawns, bad maps in general, and not as in like campaign maps with the multiplayer, because let's be real, when you buy these games, you don't expect to play the campaign over and over again, because you don't get that much replay value out of the campaign unless you don't have online or something on your, except, okay, if you don't have online or live, then I guess you're going to replay the campaign. But if you don't play multiplayer, you're missing out on a lot. And if you're watching this video, then you should probably hop on the multiplayer, because if you haven't played the multiplayer for either one of these games, you're really missing out on a giant community on YouTube and over everywhere. So yeah, I mean, that's really all I had to say about Modern Warfare 3. I guess because I played the game and all, and it just no. So fast forward to a year later, which is, I think we're in May. Today's May 12th, 2013, and we're right back where we started, honestly. It's just Battlefield 4 versus Call of Duty Ghosts. This is a really premature video because we know minimal information about each game, and we just have a bunch of speculation. Now, I guess I'll start, since I started with Battlefield before, I'll talk about COD this time. And yeah, so here we go. Call of Duty Ghosts. When people think about the next Call of Duty game, they're just thinking about, oh, the year later they're going to have a different game. What's the point in dropping $60 on this game? They're saying that the new Call of Duty, I don't know why I sounded like I had an accent right there, but the new Call of Duty is supposed to have a new engine and a new campaign, and everything's just supposed to be new about it. Now, personally, I'm excited for this. Well, just hearing about it has got me sort of excited for the game, but until I see physical gameplay, then I'm probably going to wait. But knowing the people over at Call of Duty, they know how to put together really good campaign trailers like they did for Modern Warfare 3, even though in reality it looked the exact same. But back to what I was saying about Call of Duty Ghosts. Since they're doing everything new all over again, from like campaign and the new engine could bring in stuff that fixed the other games, and it could potentially bring in a bigger audience. But at the end of the day, you have to remember that Call of Duty is known for their run and gun play style, and just that's basically it. They're just known for run and gun, big explosions and kill streaks, and because of that, it attracts a premature audience because it's more of an arcade shooter. You can just pick up a gun and go bang, 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 and call in some giant kill streak, and somebody will be like, "Oh my god, that's so cool!" And then I guess that's really all I had to say about Call of Duty Ghosts too. I mean, like I said, we don't know much about it, so this part of the commentary might be shorter. So on to Battlefield 4. We've seen the gameplay trailer. There's a new UI, the updated Frostbite engine 2.5, or that's what it's been rumored to call. That it's going to be on the next gen consoles. And I guess that's about it. Let's see, what do I have to say about Battlefield 4? I'm excited that we're actually going to see it on the next gen consoles and the old gen consoles, because it doesn't exclude a generation of gamers to actually play the game. We can all play it, but it'll just be like negated for one console. Then I don't know if that's the right word, but it'll just be like toned down or like notched back for the current gen consoles. So by the time the next gen consoles come back, it can be more like the PC. And this is one of my major arguments that I think Battlefield has on their side, because Call of Duty, if you play it on the PC and then on the PC, okay, if you play it, I'm sorry right now, okay, if you play it on the console and then you play it on the PC, then you notice that on the PC there are just probably better graphics and a more consistent frames per second, which I probably should have brought up in the Battlefield 3 commentary. My screen just went off. So yeah. Okay. Back to what I was saying though. And then okay, but when you played console version for the Battlefield 3, you saw that it was at 30 frames per second, so the game didn't look as smooth. It would drop with a bunch of explosions. The maps were smaller. The graphics were worse. It had 32 players. While on the PC side, you had beautiful 1080p. You can get over 100 frames per second, which makes the game just look so smooth, and it's just such a nice play experience. You obviously have the mouse and keyboard, which is argued to have better aim and all that stuff, but that's just other stuff. The maps are bigger, and yeah, that being said, there's more space for Battlefield to have a bigger innovation than Call of Duty, because Call of Duty is the same across each platform, while Battlefield 3 has more space for innovation. It can, like, for example, the next gen consoles could have, or it's been rumored to have, able to have 64 players, a lot better graphics, even though it's on a Radeon card, which I think is just retarded. They should, even though the specs have already been released for that bitch, they need to put in an Nvidia, because that's just the way to go. Just throw in a GTX Titan. Nah, then the console would be like 1500. But I'm getting sidetracked. So all that I'm really saying at this point is Battlefield has more potential right now because they have a wider area of innovation, because the console gamer isn't used to seeing native 1080p or above 60 frames per second, because apparently the next gen console Battlefield's supposed to have, like I said, 60 frames per second, 1080p, bigger maps, and better graphics. And I don't know if I said 64 players. I think I did, but yeah. So far, I think on the date of May 12th, 2013, Battlefield has a lot more, like, how can I say, so far it's caught my eye more, but since I'm just gonna get it on the PS4, not the PS4, but since I'm getting it on the PC, like I become a PC player recently, it's just I'm not gonna spend like $600 on another console when I have something that's stronger, like my PC right here. So I guess that's really about the argument. Call of Duty is, they have a new engine, new campaign, everything's supposed to be new about it, but I'm assuming that it's going to retain its run and gun play style, because if it did, then, well, if it didn't, it would lose most of its fan base, because that's what it's known for. So, I guess that's really about it. I already brought up the multiplayer. If you don't play multiplayer for these games, you really should try to. It can be a double-edged sword, because you realize that for Battlefield, it's typically a more mature audience and more mature appeal, while when you're playing Call of Duty, you're like 4 or 5 times more likely to go and have some little kid call you like a nigger or like a cracker or something. Like, I don't know. There's just some really rude kids online nowadays. I'm surprised parents let their kids buy these games, and one thing goes to the next, but it's whatever. But yeah, that's about it. I guess it's just UG6 checking out. If you enjoyed the video, leave a comment and subscribe, because like I said, I'm just trying to build my channel, and I'll just leave you guys with the question for the comments for whoever's watching this. Which game did you enjoy more, Battlefield 3 or Modern Warfare 3? Which one are you looking forward to more, COD Ghosts or Battlefield 4? Are you looking more toward innovation or just a fresh start from Call of Duty? And that's about it. Thanks for everything. Bye.